our injury report with Dr. Kevin McHale, of course, every week here on the Sports Bash from Cape Regional Health System. Doc, welcome back. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing? Sorry for the difficulty getting me on here.
That's okay. There's some news today regarding Ryan Shazier. We wanted to get your take on this because this one was a scary injury, and there's an update today that he underwent spinal stabilization surgery. So I guess, when you hear that, it sounds like this thing, I don't want to say took a turn for the worse, but if you feared something to be pretty major here, spinal stabilization surgery sounds like this could be a long road to recovery for him.
Yeah, that's definitely not the kind of injury that we're hoping for when we hear athletes go down with an injury on the game. And obviously, if you're watching that game, it was really, really concerning. When you see a player go down, not able to move his legs, you're clearly concerned about a spine injury. And it seems like the Steelers did everything right with the way they handled it, got him on the spine board, and got him to the hospital quickly. So in general, we see a lot of, nerve or spinal cord injuries on the field, unfortunately. And we talked about some of these before, like stingers and things like that, where it's just a little temporary bone bruise or stretch injury where it resolves very quickly. And that's, good to see because you see the players get their motor strength, their function, their strength back very quickly, the sensation back, and they're back to playing, within minutes at times. This is much more concerning. So for him to need a surgery like this, it means that there's instability of the spine. So not only is it the bone and there's little cushions, the discs in between them that make up the spine, but there's ligaments that stabilize the spine as well. And sometimes there could be an injury to the ligaments or the bone itself that makes it unstable. And as a result, what they'll need to do is they go in there, they take out whatever is pressing on the cord that caused that bruise, that caused those symptoms, whether it's a herniated disc or some bone fragment. They take that out, and then they fuse the levels that are unstable, meaning that they put bone graft in there, plates and screws, and they make it all one big solid bone. And that'll stabilize and prevent that shifting and hopefully any permanent damage from occurring. This is definitely a serious injury. I think Michael Finley had something similar, and he was eventually cleared to play, but never got back to playing. In general, a cervical spine fusion at 1 or 2 levels, you can get back to playing after that. I mean, Peyton Manning did it in the past and played very well after. But it's really, really early to tell what's going to happen to Ryan Shazier, and hopefully he gets all his function back very quickly and football's on the radar again at some point.
Yeah, now there was some talk whether or not, one of the things I heard people talking about regarding this injury was whether or not it was a spinal contusion or a spinal concussion. Would either of these two be in play here?
Well, so in general, when we talk about contusions is the technical term for a bruise, right? We talk about knee contusion, about Sam Bradford. We talk about contusions kind of all the time, but usually this is referred to as a spinal contusion. It's a bruise, and when we talk about a typical spinal contusion, it's a hyperflexion or extension injury of the neck where it leads to a quick jerk, and it puts pressure on the nerve, on the cord itself, and you get a bruise. Typically, though, that numbness and tingling and weakness will resolve within 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it can take up to 2 days, but usually not. It's typically called a contusion, though. When we use the term concussion, that's usually referred to the brain. We're talking about that with Zach Ertz right now, obviously. But a concussion is almost always usually used to talk about those temporary brain injuries from an impact to the head.
Yeah, because obviously the way he hit there, he went head first in there, and then obviously that jarred the neck in the spot. So you talked about guys in the past, Jermichael Finley, but when you hear that he had the stabilization surgery, does that kind of indicate that he might not play again?
So it's a possibility, and it's not. It doesn't mean it's not a guarantee. In general, the only way that he'd be able to get back is if he has absolute good bony healing across that fusion site. Once it's completely documented that that's healed, he has full range of motion, full strength, no pain. Then he could consider starting to rehab and possibly return to play. It's definitely a possibility, but at this point, it's so early. They're obviously hoping that there's no permanent damage, and he's getting back out there soon.
And quality of life stuff, I guess when you see him getting off like that, I mean, we don't know where he's going after the surgery here, but not necessarily a setback for that.
Yeah, the biggest thing is what type of nerve function is he going to regain? We all saw the weakness at the time his card off the field, and I haven't heard at least updates of what type of motor function he's regained at this point. So it's a little bit of a waiting game to make sure that all that comes back. The fact that they had initially released that he might not need surgery makes me think that motor function likely came back, which is
It sounds like we might have had the doc fall off there, but we appreciate him jumping on board to give us a little insight. Really good stuff on that, and we'll see for Ryan Shazier. Great insight from Doc here from Cape Regional Health System in Penn Orthopedics, the best of both worlds for a healthier life. For an appointment, call 609-463-CAPE or visit us at caperegional.com/orthopedics.